reminder, thank you, is they went on an overnight camping trip for a few days. I assume they don't have, I mean, if you're camping, it's sort of, you don't do Zoom at the camping.
Mm-hmm.
And Shia would barely see you. We don't even see, what's his name? Kilroy. We don't even see him anymore. We used to see the fan on top. I don't know. Shia is, we just see a reflection of the ceiling. Okay, everyone's fine. So just us four. Us four, okay? I think, Shai, you over 60, Shai? See there? I didn't hear.
Yeah, over 60.
Okay, this is the over 60 club. I mean, I think Bernie's over
The
60.
Bodenheimers are probably going to join soon too.
What was that?
The Bodenheimers will probably be on very soon also.
Yeah, okay. So this is the Ein Zakin Elamisha Kana Chachma. Only the old timers. According to there's as a machlekes, what's called Zikna, at 60 or 70. I'm not sure. I think maybe someone on the page is over 70. I'm not. I'm close, but Bernie seems to be nodding. And Bodenheimers, I believe, are, at least Doctor is. And I don't think, Mordechai, you are? No.
No, I am not. No.
You're younger than me, I think, right?
I think so, yeah. Turning 65 soon.
I'm 67, turning 68 in December. Okay, a short thought. We're entering Elul, and there's just a short thought. We're entering into Elul, and Elul is a holy month. You know, it's there's a lot to prepare. You know, 1 month is a joke compared to what we really need to do, but at least somehow 1 month we give ourselves, and usually we don't wake up until about a day or two, if we're lucky, before Rosh Hashanah, and we start realizing, whoa, it's a real business. But this year maybe we'll wake up a little earlier. But there are many different ramazim in the Torah for Elul, and everyone knows the most famous and others. But actually, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong, but there's one in Chumash. That's the first one. I think maybe there's others earlier, but the first one that I know in Chumash that has exactly, there's a lot of first letters of 4 words that spell out Elul if you jumble them, but not every pasuk has Elul, Elul exactly, Aleph Lamed Vav Lamed. And this first pasuk, I think, is the most accurate one. One of the first of the most accurate pasuk is a strange pasuk. It's in the Parshas Mishpatim, and it talks about someone who did not plot to kill someone, but merely Ve'ina Liyadai. Hashem brought 2 people together, and unfortunately, a person erred and killed someone unintentionally. And the pasuk says, it says over there, the pasuk says, someone who Hashem Loitzada, he didn't intend to kill someone. He didn't, seek to catch the guy and aim arrows at him. He was shooting at some animals, and somehow he missed, and he hit a person, whatever it is. And it says like this: "V'alekim," and God, ina liyadai, and God had caused it to come to his hand. V'samti l'cha, and I will provide for you makaim asher lo neshama, a place you can run to. So the pasuk ina liyadai, Hashem arranged that it should come to his hand. In other words, obviously God in his infinite wisdom, if someone kills unintentionally, it wasn't intentional. So obviously God allowed these certain set of circumstances to come about where someone would be somewhat careless, not totally mace it, but somewhat careless, and inadvertently kill someone. And the pasuk says, "Ina liyadai v'samti lach," and I give you a place near Miklan. So here's a remes to Elul, which l'chara has no relevance. I mean, what does killing someone b'shogeg have to do with running to a city of refuge? What does that have to do with Elul? So the obvious parallel is that, you know, we've erred and done things. If we're lucky, it was unintentional. But some of the things we do, the Gemara uses a phrase "karov amazed." We're close to amazed, but generally speaking, we hope that more or less we're not intentional sinners. At the most, we're just a little careless, a little mindless, and we just go about our mitzvahs and our day and the things that come our way. You know, maybe we don't check the hechsher so carefully, or maybe, you know, we got a little distracted by davening and we didn't say the bracha with the right kavanah. Whatever it is in our life that we're sort of careless about, and we err. So the pasuk tells us, just like a person who makes mistakes has a place to save himself from the Goyal Hadam, the avenger, the relatives who are avenging the death of the person. Halach is, if someone kills someone unintentionally, the relatives of the murdered has a right to kill him unless he escapes to the air miklat first. And that would somehow be the metaphor for us who are unintentional sinners, who sometimes a little careless than others. And we have a place to run to, which will hold off the Gael Adam, the holy Satan, from doing his deeds against us. And we can run to what we call a refuge in time. A refuge in time. So Elul is really like a place where we're supposed to run off to and sort of, put our lives together. Because generally speaking, on the simplest understanding, I'll expand on it a little bit, is that, we need to retrain ourselves. We need to become more mindful. Averos happen because we don't live with a sense of Hashem 100% in the forefront of our mind. If a person would always live with that consciousness, not only of the sense of Hashem, the sense of responsibility to others, the sense of the consequences of actions, not only what I do to others and the actions that have an impact on me. If we would really understand how severe our carelessness is, we would be extremely careful. We would obviously live on a heightened level of soldiers. There are people who on these elite units, they can't make a mistake. They know that there's so much at stake. You read a little bit about that team that went that time to take out Osama bin Laden. I mean, the intensity and the focus and the consequence of their actions, even then they made mistakes, but certain things are out of their hand. But when you know what's at stake, what's the responsibility, what opportunities await us by doing it correctly. So that's really what Elul is, to sort of, pull ourselves away from the distractions and encase ourselves in a city of refuge. But I want to elaborate a little bit, because the pasuk there, the truth is, the pasuk says specifically, "Ina liyodei v'samti l'cha," and I will place for you a place to run to. Now the Gemara makes a drasha. I think Rashi brings in the Chumash. Asher samti l'cha. L'cha means he's talking to Moshe Rabbeinu. Now Moshe Rabbeinu never made it into the land of Israel, where there were several cities of refuge, but there was several cities that he was able to set up in the Yarden. But the pasuk says Samti L'cha, addressing Moshe as the one who somehow possesses the Ar Miklat. The Gemara says that's referring to the fact that there were 6 cities of refuge in general, 3 in Transjordan, 3 in Israel proper, and then there were 42 cities that the Levium are supposed to live in. And the Shevet Levi, the Bnei Levi, they don't have a Nachal in Eretz Yisrael. Hashem provided them 42 cities with all sorts of requirements how to construct those cities. Those 42 cities, which are the residents of the habitat of the Shevet Levi, those cities serve as the cities of refuge. So V'samti L'cha is a reference to a very specific type of a city. The city, and that's what the Mishnah says, if someone killed unintentionally in the Midbar, if they'd run into the camp of Moshe, which was a machane of Leviah, which belongs to Levium, it would be a city of refuge. That's what we learned from here, because those cities weren't set up. Moshe Rabbeinu never went to Israel, but the location he was in, V'samti L'cha, you are a member of the tribe of Levi. You are in the machane of Leviah, and the pasuk is saying the machane of Leviah. So the reference specifically of running to a city of refuge is somehow related to the cities of refuge, not the 6, the 3 in Transjordan and the 3 which you get distance in the land of Israel for people to run to, but the additional 42, and in this case, the Machane Leviah, where Moshe had it. Why would the Torah emphasize that more than others? If it's a city of refuge, we should have a city of refuge. Why does it have to be specifically to them? So I want to just share one simple idea. I believe I heard this years ago from Reb Zevlev. And he says like this. He says, I think he said, whoever said it, so I believe it's him. There's a difference, the Gemara says, between the cities of refuge that are the habitat of the Levium that serve as a refuge for unintentional murderers to run to, and the 6 cities, 3 in Transjordan, 3 in Eretz Yisrael, that you run into. The 3 main cities that were the originally designated 3 cities of refuge, if you inadvertently run there, you don't even know that you're there. It works. If you run to a city, it's free base. And even if he was running from the Geldam, he didn't even realize that he went over the boundary of that city. It's free base. The Geldam cannot shoot him anymore. Can't hit him with an arrow. However, This is an interesting halacha. The cities of refuge of the Levium are only kailet ladas if you go in with awareness. If you know where you are. If you go in unintentionally, it doesn't protect you. You have to know that you're there. That's what the Gemara says. That has to be ladas. The cities of refuge is only a refuge to one who entered with awareness, not if you walked in there inadvertently. And I think what the lesson is as follows. God is telling us, of course, what happens when you go to a city of refuge? Okay, so God had Rahmanis on unintentional cities, he gave them a refuge. But the cities of Levium is something greater than that. Because the Levium are people who live with a sense of consciousness every moment, the Shavisi Hashem and Summit, that God is in front of them their entire life. And when you live with that reality and all its meaning, then you act differently. The murderer of B'Shaygeg, the unintentional murderer who obviously lacked a certain level of awareness that allowed him to lapse unintentionally, he has to rehabilitate by living in a society of people who are elevated, people who live with a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of awareness of what's going on around them. And that's why Bedavka in that city, which serves as a city of refuge, because these are cities that you can really rehabilitate, because you can rehabilitate the flaw that led you to lapse in your consciousness that God expects us to be on. And by definition, if you come into the city without the awareness, if you come to the city without the awareness, then it missed the whole boat. You have to come in with a sense, I'm entering into a city, I'm entering into an environment where there's a higher level of awareness and mindfulness of my role in life, my responsibility in life, and to God and to people. And therefore, that's why you need less. And I think that is specifically what Elul is about. Elul is not coming to Elul, okay, coming to Elul and 30 days are gonna, do its job and you're gonna, lose weight, slough off all the sins in 30 days, all that ugly fat. No, it doesn't work that way. If you come into Elul with a sense of ladas, like v'samti l'cha, ina liyadei v'samti l'cha, those specific words, and I gave to you, meaning Moshe, to those cities, where when you enter into a realm where you're ready to diminish some of from distractions that distract you, and focus on a higher level of awareness in your life, that's what Elul is. That's v'samti l'cha. And I think that's the lesson of why that pasuk is perhaps more significant than Anilu Dagli says. Anilu Dagli, I'm close. Hashem is here to help us, to encourage us. Don't become defeatist. Don't become depressed. There's always hope. But the manner in which we do it is Ve'ina li'ada v'samtucha. Hashem says, I gave you places where a month where you can really change your whole perception in life, your whole attitude towards the world around us and the responsibilities. I think that's the message of this remez of Elul. And I've got to go. I'm already late. I'm going to wish everyone a good Tanakh. Thank you for continuing to come. It's the quality that counts. And Mitzvah Hashem, age too, of course. And Mitzvah Hashem, we'll see each other tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye, Ishaya. He waved.